Distillation is here on the show floor of E3, and it's probably... How many people have shit their pants so far with this?
I'm not entirely sure how many confirmed soilings we've had yet.
How's E3 been for you? I mean, what's the reaction here?
It's been unbelievable. You know, I think we've been working on this game for a long time, and to be able to bring the game to E3 and to get people playing, go hands-on and actually experiencing what it's like to confront this amazing alien firsthand, and to see their faces, to see the people get killed by the alien, throw off their headphones, massive smiles on their faces, and put the headphones back on again and go once more. It's just amazing.
Excellent. But the demo behind us is slightly different than the one we've played in the previous two hands-on. So what's here?
Right. So here we're introducing a new game mode, which is different to the separate to the main campaign. It's a really sort of contained, really intense experience where you simply have to try and survive and escape. It's a kind of time-based, so you're up against the clock, which puts a lot of pressure on you. So you're having to make decisions under an enormous amount of pressure, and obviously the aliens around, yeah, it's just a sort of distillation of that core alien experience in a different mode.
So basically, whilst that's when I played it, I hid behind a gurney for a good 5 minutes before I moved. They don't have the choice of doing that.
No, they need to keep moving, need to keep trying to make progress. It's using all the core some mechanics of the game. Continually assessing the situation, trying to make some the smart moves, trying to take as few risks as possible, but when necessarily, just surviving by any means necessary.
Okay. Well, we just got our hands up from the pre-E3 demonstration, so I'd just like to touch upon that a little bit, because you guys rolled in looters, you guys rolled in synthetics. Let's take looters to begin with. So obviously not alone on the space station, but there's several people a bit pissed off you get anywhere near them.
So yeah, I mean, we're introducing the survivors. So on the station there is a small inhabitants, but they're in the same situation as you. They're desperate to survive. They're very jumpy. They're very, very unpredictable. Sometimes they're a positive influence to the player, and occasionally they're not. And they're armed. They're very frightened, and they're likely to shoot at anything that moves. And so you need to be very careful with them. They're using the same core kind of AI underneath. They're using their senses to drive their behavior, and so at the same time we've also got the synthetics. Again, they're unpredictable. Sometimes they're a real benefit, and sometimes they can get really aggressive, and they're super tough and super strong, and you don't really want to mess with those guys. But because everything's kind of running under this core AI, you have this amazing opportunity for emergent stories to occur as these entities interact with each other, and confrontations suddenly spark out of nowhere. We also at E3 are introducing the crafting system. So from that, when you pick up items in the world and objects and components, you can put them together to create devices which might give you the chance to change the odds and increase your chances of survival. For example, the noisemaker, this kind of strange object with a device with 2 speakers and there's a bunch of circuitry. You can throw it in the world, it starts making a huge amount of noise and it will start attracting attention. But how these things play out is really unpredictable, and you can never be sure of how things will pan out.
I mean, I had that during my demo where I think I encountered a couple of survivors at a crossroads, and I just couldn't get around them. So I jumped back sort of Sonic the Miller and just stepped back and just it's like dropping a grenade, basically, an alien-shaped grenade.
Right.
But I mean, what's the survivor? You're talking about the survivor AI. I mean, will they learn and adapt to you? I mean, you said about the alien previously, will learn from the trap, so one, it may work first time, won't learn again. Is that true of the survivors as well?
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely the case of the alien. Again, we're keeping the humans kind of unpredictable, so how they respond to events and to the player isn't a kind of constant. So you have to try.
You're stepping so carefully around this.
You have to sort of assess the risk, and you have to kind of come up with a strategy. But how that plays out isn't necessarily guaranteed.
Synthetics. Now, it might just be for that particular room of that particular demo, but because we didn't really have a context leading into it, the synthetic that comes out of that tube hasn't got the full human skin on. Is there a production facility on the station, or what's the story behind that?
So, Seegson Synthetics, I mean, Seegson is the corporation that runs the station. They're way behind in the tech race. They are not able to produce androids, like Ash in the first film. So they produce their own biomechanical, very basic android, these working Joes, and so yeah, they're on the station to sort of service it. But again, how they respond to the player is something you have to kind of find out.
Yeah. Learn to be scared, basically.
Yes, they're very you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah. I was going to ask this. Actually, the name of the space station is
Sevastopol.
Is there any meaning behind that?
Well, we chose the name many years ago. We were just wanted to name the station after a port city on Earth, and at the time that felt like the right name for the station.
It's a good representation of this is the arse end of nowhere in space.
Well, I don't know if I would say that, but it just felt like the right choice.
Excellent. Okay. Well, obviously people are getting hands on here. You guys are here locked in the booth for a few more hours at least. But when you get back, what's the plan? What's the roadmap for you for the next few weeks?
So we're just pushing and pushing to make this game as good as possibly can. Again, having people play the game is fantastic. We get to learn so much about how people behave and how they react to the alien, and we can take all that learning back and just help tweak it and make it a more refined experience.
I know I was going to ask you something there. I'm not going to. Something along the ending, but I shall not because I know the answer will be no comment. Okay, is the game finished from start to finish, and you guys, like you said, you just iterating, just polishing over and over again?
Yeah. So yeah, we made the game. We're just now in the process of just polishing it and iterating on it and making it better.
Okay, this question again may try not to stay into spoiler territory, but at the moment, from what you've shown to us, what are you most proud of? What's the one single element that you're most proud of?
Oh, I think it's the core experience of what it's like to experience this alien. So when you encounter it, the fact that it's dynamic and reactive, and every time you play it's different. I mean, the fact that we've been making this game for a long time, and it'll get me scared, and I'll yelp and I'll jump. I think that's a kind of testament to the great work that guys have done at the studio, and it's exactly the kind of experience we aim to create when we started out.
It's always a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck with it. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon.
Great, thanks very much.